Gloria, welcome into the channel. So I had a reloop spin and I got rid of it recently because I thought I was done with vinyl. But then I realized later that I have an addiction. My reasoning with getting another vinyl player, another turntable, is stems is coming out. And I think it would be really cool to figure out, to kind of find out just to see what I can do with vinyl and stems. So I'm excited about that, and I grabbed a Numark PT01 scratch. So the first thing I want to do is show y'all how I make a multi-sample vinyl key group. I actually have a sample pack. It's like $14. You can pick it up. It's one-shot key groups. Some of them are multi-samples, all made from vinyl. You can check it out, link in the description. With stems coming out soon on the MPC, I really feel like it's gonna open up the possibility of what you can do with something like this. Just the amount of sample material, open, sustained notes, whatever it is. So I'm curious, what are you guys gonna be doing? What are you most excited about with stems? How will you be using them? Drop that in the comments. All right, so these are some of the types of records that I usually go for doing something like this, for creating a key group. I usually go for records that you could tell are usually going to be solo instruments. So this is like a shakuhachi, Japanese flute, songs of the reed, solo instruments. So it's pretty obvious. This is like a music library of stuff. And you can look in the back. You got violins, cellos, basses, guitars, mandolins, lutes. So I have made quite a bit of key groups with this record here. Some other good options are looking for learning albums. So how to play guitar, how to play blues harp, because these will oftentimes have single notes, because it will break down what does this note sound like. And there you go, something open for you to sample, a sustained note, and turn into a key group. Yes, so more stuff like that that might have single instruments. So just look for those things on the covers. So I went through a few of these records to find something good. I came up with this album here. You can see that the main instrument is guitar. And I did find a sustained, not too long of a sustained note, but a note. So you got to kind of develop your ear a little bit to recognize what are chords and what are singular notes. So because you want to sample those. If you end up sampling a chord and try to play chords, that's going to sound bad. All right, here we go. All right, so I'll go ahead and name this real quick. Guitar, GTR, do it, keep. Go out to the main screen. First thing I want to do, all right, I'm going to go to a track, create a key group program. I'm going to name this key group program. I'll just go GTR as well. Keep it simple, quick. All right, so edit, samples. I'm going to drop that sample in there. Okay. All right, so the sample is on there. Back to middle octave, middle C. I'm going to change slice from pad to all. So when I go back into sample edit, I can adjust the start point. I don't need all this. There's a lot of, this is the sustain note right here. Really like that. That's how you make a key group really fast. But there is much more that we can do to this, because I do want to make this, turn this into a multi-sample key group. But if you wanted to use one shot, it's pretty quick. So I'll just get my start endpoint. Let me process that real quick. Discard. I do want to cut some of the end off as well. All right, so what I'm going to want to do from here is figure out what the pitch is of this sample, what the root note is. So I could do that by pressing menu. And then if you look at the top, there is a tuner built in. In order to get the tuner to hear what is playing in the MPC, you have to switch your input. Right now, it's currently monitoring my mic. I'm going to switch that to resample. All right, so when I switch this to resample and I press the key, I'm going to look for two things. The note letter, which will be in larger, as you can see, larger text. And then underneath that, you can see whether it's sharp or flat. So you can see like plus or minus. And then that will be an indicator whether I need to tune the samples, like fine tune them a little bit. Okay, here it goes. All right, so what I saw was an F and that it was a bit sharp. You can see it going in red plus about 35. So I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna move over back into edit or back into sample edit, and then we'll see a root note. So by default, all samples you record in say C3, and I'm at an F, so I'm gonna switch this over to F3. And then I can fine tune it right here by holding shift and turning this up. There's also a way you can do this destructively. Let's see, I'll go 35. You could always go process and do it in here. You have the pitch shifting to about 35. Hit do it. Then I can go back over here and switch this back to 0, right? So those are options. Either way it works. So now that the root note has been set to F3, like I showed before, your sample will by default be on C, like middle C. So that's changed to pitch up. Now it's placed my original sample here, as you can hear. So now I could actually play this one-shot key group, you know, in key with all my other instruments, my plugins, and all that. All right, but I did say that I'm going to make a multi-sample key group. So the next thing I want to do is go to edit, and if I look up here, I have this little piano icon. If I click that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the note range. So I want to change this to just the root note for now, so that I can get a little bit organized and then start sampling in some of my other notes. Skipped it there. So root note is F3. So I'm going to put the low key and the high key to F3. So now my sample won't be on any other keys except for where it belongs there. So now it's time to sample in some more samples. All right, so here's where the multi-sampling actually happens. So what I'm doing is I'm going to be sampling the same exact note, but what I did here is I turned the pitch knob on the Numark PT01 as low as it can go. And what I'll do is I'll do this 3 times. So I've already recorded this pitch, then I'll bring the knob up center and sample that. Then I'll bring it all the way right and sample that. So yeah, it's not like a huge multi-sample, but it still gives you some better pitch shifting without speeding or slowing down your actual sample if you were to do it digitally in the MPC. So it does at least give you a better sound for the range until you're off onto like the highest and the lowest note. Then the sound starts to degrade. But I'm not going for like a hi-fi sound here, right? I'm going for a lo-fi sound because I am using vinyl as a source material. Pitch that all the way, bring it back. Keep. All right, so from here, go back into my key group program. And if you look up here, you have number of key groups. So I'm going to make this 3 and then switch this to 2 so I can select a new sample. So we go into guitar 1, change this to slice all, sample edit. So I can edit this start and end points here on this as well. Process that. Discard. Let's do the endpoint. Process that. Okay, and the same process will be done to figure out the pitch. All right, so it looks like it's a G. About 2 semitones there. Let's go to sample edit. Change this to G3. Then go back into edit. We'll do the key group thing again, the key range. And this, I'm going to switch it to G3 and G3. Okay, exit there. And then switch this again to key group number 3. And we'll put our third sample there. Also slice to all, sample edit, adjust these start points. Process that and then do the endpoint. Menu, tuner. Got an A. What I want to do is also go back into edit. Let me adjust the key range. So I'll set this to A3. A3. There we go. Then I will go into edit or sample edit again. Look at each one of these. So this sample was, I already did the root note on that one. F3, G3, and this will be A3. All right, so now back into edit. Now I'll bring the key ranges all together. So starting with 1, I will just stretch it this way a little bit more, so I have more octaves there. Let me just go all the way over here. It's not going to sound great, but yeah, and then I'll pull this back to connect them to just 1, and then pull it forward just 1, and then here we go. Just go up maybe another octave, and that's pretty much it. Other than that, you know, I might go to, you know, like an envelope and adjust the attack on all these, smooth out the attack a bit. Maybe also go into the mix, add some effects. I don't know, maybe a little reverb down here. Maybe. How about an amp sim? Grab a bass real quick, and then one of my other favorite samples here, key groups, Far East Shaku. So these are all key groups from my vinyl instrument one-shot pack, but it also has a few of these multi-samples that I also made with the same process that I displayed here. So let's go and bring up the God bass, and then for melody, we'll put on the Far East Shaku. Okay. All truth of the root, it's all the same. This life you live, the land you love, just different terrain. The flag you rep, the color you are, don't love it in vain. By all these people under the stars, it's one of the same. The body is flesh, the temple of blood and bone. No family crest, and zealot in peace and harmony earth's my home. And everyone in it's divided into parts. Imagine the lines drawn on a map, connect to a heart like ventricles pumping. Like ventricles pumping. And there you go. That is the video. If you found some value in it, please do give it a thumbs up. Like I always say, it is the best and, you know, cheapest way to support the YouTube channel. If you like what I do over here, there are links in the description for monetary ways that you can support the channel. If the MPC Key 37 is something that's on your wish list, go pick it up at Sounds. Affiliate link in the description. Little cut for me. No extra cost to you. And that's it. Leave a comment. I want to know what y'all are going to be doing with stems. Are you excited about that? Leave it right there. And until next time, y'all keep on running with your dreams. Y'all bless. Peace.